See, I take them and put them in my bag. And I say, I text Kelly and I say, homemade cookies on the way. And she's like, all right.
They'll be crushed.
They'll be fine. I'm a seasoned pro at bringing cookies home.
He doesn't eat them. I see him back there eating them. Lies.
Hey, Chip. Chip, I thought you said you didn't eat them.
Crumbs are going everywhere. Oh, I don't eat the cookies, no.
Turn the camera on him. Oh, he's back there. They got him on the camera.
Hello, how are you? Good, good to see you. No.
Just in case they keep my pitchforks. She's good people. She can't serve beer this weekend though, you guys. Yeah.
Wow.
She's busy.
I thought that's why she was here to let me know she'd be there.
Busy. Busy.
In the wrong city.
Busy.
Chocolate scenes.
That cookie was actually good.
I know, I did.
Why did you use the word
Yeah,
actually?
what was actually?
Yeah, that's a good point. No, I didn't have that one. I had the other one.
Oh,
The orange one.
okay.
Oh, yeah?
Orange peel in it. It's actually really good.
This is really good.
I always go for chocolate chips. I can't, if there's like chocolate chips in there, it's just, forget it. All right, we're probably live by now. Bless you.
Bless you.
A lot of blessings up there. I'm going to go ahead and call the Tuesday, November 16th, 2021 meeting of the Oldsmar City Council to order. The next two items on the agenda are the invocation and pledge of allegiance, which will be led by our city attorney, Mr. Tom Trask. Please rise.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of the community. Fill us with your grace as we make decisions that might affect the residents of the city of Oldsmar. Continue to remind us that all we do here today, all that we accomplish is for the betterment of the city. This we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Next item on the agenda is the citizens' open forum. We only have a few rules. One, we ask that you do not take more than 5 minutes. We ask that you give your complete name and a complete address, and that you do not speak to any public hearing item. You'll be able to speak at that time. However, tonight we have no public hearings, correct?
That's right, we just have the resolution.
Have the resolution, okay. All right, with that, I will go ahead and start on this side of it. Go ahead.
Council. My name is Dallas Rose. I live at 600 Buckingham Avenue West here in Oldsmar over 30 years. I was here on the 22nd of September discussing the PIE Allegiant flyovers.
Right.
They're affecting the neighborhoods that I represent, on Buckingham, the Orange Blossom Estates, and there's the neighborhood down the street, Driftwood Cove on Pine. I've been representing our neighbors for several years trying to solve the problem of this noise. This is the third appearance here. I had my neighbors were here some time ago, and then I came on the 22nd. I gave you a brief history at the 22nd meeting, and then I said some solutions. Since our meeting, I would like to point out that in October there were nearly no flights. I think the weather conditions were favorable for us, But in November 11th, we had 9 flyovers lasting until 11 o'clock, which was rare. It wasn't after 11. They stayed within the quiet window. And then on the 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th, they were well after 11 o'clock. There was just one single flight. Apparently, the wind conditions don't affect them that late at night, or they're late flying in. They're flying in. But I gave you a history of what has happened at that 22nd meeting, and I proposed a solution, but the time limitation cut me a little short of my conclusion, which was stating that we'd like to have the air flight moved away from us in a neutral area between us and Safety Harbor. Safety Harbor moved it over us, if you recall, I stated, and that wasn't fair without doing a noise study that I think they should have done, because they used an existing flight path is what they told me. They told us on conversation when we were meeting with them at the airport. Now they've got the Swoop Airlines they've started, they're Sun Country and Delta Airlines. So the airport, it's not going to go away. It's going to get worse, we fear. And they've quieted down over the years since we started complaining, but they're still after 11 o'clock at night, and they're still loud and low and noisy. The Metroplex plan they implemented like last year only affects departures, which fly about every direction over our city. They don't, and they're high, they're loud and high, but they're over the city. They're not concentrated in one area, like over our homes west of the school. So that's pretty much, I just want to continue the conversation of where we're going with this thing, if we can get a solution with the airport. Anyway, any questions, comments?
I don't know if Andrew has anything to add. Have they had any meetings since?
They did not since we sent the letter, but I informed Dallas prior to the meeting starting that action we took in terms of us sending that communication. I checked with the city clerk, and we haven't gotten any sort of formal response yet. So I was going to follow up tomorrow to see if they can acknowledge a receipt of our communication or anything like that.
Yeah, we sent a pretty detailed letter. Staff did a lot of investigating to make sure it was all of the flights that we could find. And when did we send that?
Probably a month or 6 weeks ago. It's been a little bit.
It's been long enough to at least
Get
get
a
an
response.
acknowledgement of a of
Right
receipt.
after
Yeah.
came to the meeting.
Yeah, the airport had a couple meetings here years ago, and they were, before they dropped a bomb on us, they had some meetings here, but they never stated what they were going to do, what their intentions were. I think you were there, Mr. Mayor.
Yep.
I have the meeting minutes here
You
in my
really?
file. Oh yeah, we've done research here. We were working with Linda on this research and research thing, so it's ridiculous.
But we'll try to follow up and see if there's any response we can get from it and go from there. That's about all we
Yeah.
can do right now.
All right, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have anybody else on this side of the room? Mr. Beavis.
Doug Beavis, 359 Bay Arbor Boulevard. If you don't mind, Mayor, I'll, from the Chamber's perspective, try and see if we can reach out for Dallas's concern as well. And, you know, they're part of the county, so we'll see if we can reach out to them.
Are you wearing the hat and the jacket for any particular reason?
Well, I wasn't sure if you saw the 4,000 pictures that my daughter posted from over the weekend, so I thought I would recreate the effect in case you missed any of the pictures. I can send them to you if you would like.
No, my wife informed me, trust me.
For the game?
There was a score at the end of the game, and I believe it was favorable to the Florida State Seminoles.
Minutes.
Yeah, I don't have much to say, so I thought I would use 4 of it to bash on the Miami Hurricanes.
So good to see you.
Thank you. You like as well. Real quick, I'm representing the Chamber of Commerce tonight, and as you all know, I passed out the schedule. Of course, now I don't have one because I gave them to you, of Celebrate Oldsmar. We're excited about it. It's our first year taking it over from the city. I think a lot of people are excited about it because it's now a 3-day event instead of a 1-day event, but still have the notorious fireworks at the end, which are always great. So it'll be Friday night, Saturday all day, and Sunday I think we have a really good lineup of music, and kind of a little bit different. We don't have the Black Honkies and Greg Billings like we normally do, but we do have Stormbringer, but we have some other bands as well. So the weather looks favorable. Whoever was in charge of that, I'm sure it was you, Mayor. So if it does rain, I'll blame you as well.
Couldn't get the Miami game, but I got the weather.
And then we also have one more second Friday, and it actually falls on the second Friday in December, so we're going to do that. And we got a lot of favorable response from our layout that we did. We've kind of been tweaking it. A lot of people have been asking for the street, and it's just difficult because of the setup time. And the other problem is just merely providing power to them. A lot of cities have power in their power poles. We do, but they're daisy chained all together. So if you plug too much in, we would blow the whole circuit. So the other thing would be to run power from basically where we run it now, out by Tampa Road, all the way out and down the street. It had the feel of a street, you know, out there. I don't know what the difference is between the pavement in the parking lot and the pavement in the street, but it was favorable, and the kids evidently liked the grassy area where they could play. We're probably going to work maybe on a bounce house or something like that maybe somebody can sponsor to put out there. So we're excited about that. I know you're going to talk about the mayor's breakfast, or somebody is, but if you could just let people know or let the public know that tickets are available at the Chamber. I think the Chamber has sold 8 or 10 tables so far, so we're doing good. We always have a good turnout for that, so we're excited about going back to Oldsmar, or back to Safety Harbor, but we're excited more about next year because hopefully Nielsen will be open when we host it. So if there aren't any questions about Celebrate Oldsmar, the parade is Saturday. It starts at 11, so be there probably about 10:30ish. We're going to be riding in Jeeps with their tops off and their doors off, so it should be a lot of fun. Kind of wanted to mix it up. You know, Oldsmar's kind of owns the Oldsmar days, so the Jeep people have been great partners with the Chamber, and so we thought it'd be something kind of fun. And then they're going to bring a ton of Jeeps down to the park afterward on Saturday. We have the car show on Sunday as well, and I think that pretty much wraps it up. So I think you guys are working one Sunday?
Sunday from 12 to 6.
Doing what you guys do best, serving beer. So thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you. Thank you. We have anybody on this side of the room?
Hi, Diane Haberman, 10 Sunny Point Court. And actually, I came here for a different purpose today. I didn't read the agenda change, but I did think I'd take this opportunity to thank the city of Oldsmar for, over the years, taking up some of my causes, like fixing the sidewalks along Shore Drive. You all have been very responsive to that. It's been a great change. I wanted to say thank you. And that's one of the reasons why I like being here in Oldsmar, is because if we bring up an issue, those issues are taken seriously and resolved. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was very nice. Anybody else on this side of the room? All right. I'm going to go ahead and close the citizens open forum at this time. The next item on the agenda is community minute, which will be announced by our city clerk, Ann Nixon.
Yes, so we have Celebrate Oldsmar, Friday, November 19th through Sunday, November 21st at Ariel's Park. Of course, they're going to have parade and fireworks. You can learn more at celebrateoldsmar.com or utbchamber.com. And then our annual tree lighting ceremony is Wednesday, December 1st. That's a change in the date there. It's Wednesday, December 1st at 6 o'clock right out in front of City Hall. The Oldsmar Citizen of the Year will throw the switch and light the tree. We'll have caroling and other stuff. And of course, our holiday golf cart parade is Saturday, December 11th at 6 o'clock. Parade through downtown area. Register now through September 10th for golf carts to participate. $5 a cart. Call 813-749-1152 for details. And a lot of other stuff going on, including the mayor's breakfast. So if you're hungry and you want to help charity and you'd like to maybe get a treat, then you have to bid for a treat. It's so expensive, but they're really pretty. Friday, December 3rd, 7:30 to 9:30 at Safety Harbor Resort and Spa. $25 a ticket, and they're on sale at the chamber. And of course, you can call 813-855-4233 for details. And like I said, there's a lot going on. You can learn more at myoldsmar.com. That's it.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is awards and recognition. Excuse me, next item on the agenda is the approval of addition of new agenda items. We have item 9 and 10. Does anyone want to separate them? At this time, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Since you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Now we have awards and recognition. Item number 1, presentation of employee service awards, and that will be done by our city manager, Mr.
Thank you, Mayor.
Albraithwaite.
The only service award we had due for tonight was our Utilities Administrator, Assistant Public Works Director, Jonna Jan. Did we get a picture? I don't know that we did we? She's been with us for 10 years. We did a little ceremonial thing in City Hall because she's out of town this week. So as you know, I allow the employee to decide if they'd like the presentation to be done in front of the employees. And only because she was going to be out of town this week, she chose to accept the award in City Hall. We also had an award ceremony this morning that Felicia handled that I was out of town for a 5-year service award for Greg Silliman. It was delivered in front of City Hall, in front of the employees, and then we had snacks.
And we had snacks.
You have to have snacks.
Chip brought them.
Well, very good. Very good. Did Chip bring the snacks?
No, Chip was saving the big guns for you guys. We had some chips and stuff. Wasn't quite as special.
Well, congratulations to both of them. Both of them.
Thank you.
We're glad they're here. All right, next item is the Community Redevelopment Agency. We have no items under that tonight. We will, as you all know, assuming we approve the tentative agenda, it will be on the following meeting. We'll have quite a bit. Consent docket. Does anybody wish to pull anything from the consent docket?
No, sir.
All right, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Senton, you're ready to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. City of Oldsmar, we have no items tonight. And then City Attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. So tonight, under agenda item number 5, this is resolution 2021-21. This is the final ballot language for the charter questions. You remember that the Charter Review Committee asked or brought forward a number of suggested changes to the charter. Those ordinances have gone through the process of adoption, and now we need to nail down the ballot language. And so this resolution is for that purpose. I would also remind you that there's going to be another ballot language resolution that's going to come forward relative to the election for mayor, seat 2 and seat 4 after the qualifying period is completed. And according to Ann, that's going to be on December the 7th. So I'm going to read this resolution by title only. Resolution 2021-21, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, establishing the wording and substances of 11 charter amendments and ballot titles for amendments to the city charter of the City of Oldsmar, amending the introductory paragraph of Article 1 to add fire and emergency services as municipal functions, amending Section 1.01 to delete the reference to cable television and add charging stations, lower percentage, requiring voter approval on revenue bonds that exceed 10% of assessed value of property in Oldsmar, and add a term redevelopment to qualify the need to impose charges or fees. Amending section 4.02 to delete references to city manager's appointment, compensation, and removal. Amending section 4.07 to provide for the appointment and promotion of city employees based solely on merit and qualifications. Amending section 5.06 to require compliance with Code of Ethics in Florida statutes. Amending section 6.02 to add the definition for nonpartisan elections. Amending section 7.02 to provide for the review of the city charter at least once every 10 years. Amending section 7.03 to provide for the review of the city's code of ordinances at least once every 10 years. Amending section 8.04 to correct typographical errors and gender references, providing that these amendments appear on the ballot for the charter revision referendum to be held on March 15, 2022, and providing for an effective date hereof. That was a reading of Resolution 2021-21 by title only. I would bring one other thing to your attention. I'm going to change the titles, the capitalization of the titles of each one of these to make it conform in line with a recent request that I received from the Supervisor of Elections. So, for example, under Charter Amendment number 1, the title is Amendment Adding Fire and Emergency Services to List of Municipal Functions. Those words are just going to be capitalized, and so we're going to do that with all the titles throughout the throughout the resolution before it's actually signed by the mayor.
Is there any changes to the language?
No, there's no changes to the language, just capitalization.
All right, so then I don't need an amendment.
Correct.
All right, this time the chair, are you done, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? A motion and a second? Any discussion? Go ahead.
Yeah,
Councilman.
thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Tom. I do have a couple of questions. And this was kind of discussed via email that was circulated, I think, last week. Can you help me understand the effect of the sort of bundling of the amendments by ordinance? So, for example, amendments 1 through 4 fall under ordinance 2021-28. So let's say amendment 2 passes and amendment 1 fails. How can, I just need to understand a little bit better the procedural effect of that.
Well, first of all, I appreciate, the question. Before the meeting started, Councilmember Gray was asking the same question.
Oh, okay.
Okay, these were bundled for the purposes of, frankly, limiting the number of ordinances that are coming forward. When I prepared them, I believe that in stacking them like I did, because they're basically non-controversial type issues, that we could save some money for the advertising, and we could save the fact that, you have to read a half a dozen different ordinances, that I've stacked them. But the answer to your question is that if any one of the 4 in that particular ordinance fail, they all fail.
Okay.
So if you want to, and frankly, if any of them fail, we just bring it forward the next time, the next election. You can bring them forward on an individual basis if you want to do that. But that's the way I prepared them, and that's exactly what will happen. If one doesn't pass, those 4 don't pass.
Okay, thank you. So they're not grouped in any sort of manner by topic, 2028. They're just sort of grouped according to when you composed the ordinances?
They're grouped based upon the article that they're in.
Article they're under, okay.
Yeah. So for the first 4 are in Article 1 of your charter. And then as we're going through them, you'll see, for example, in section number 5, that is Article 4.
I see.
And section 6, it's Article 4. Section 7, it's Article 5. Section 8, it's Article 6, and so on.
Understood. Thank you. That helps me understand that much better.
Okay.
And then question number 5, it's on page 3 of the resolution, 45 of the packet. The way that the question reads, and this is just an opinion, of course, for what it's worth, but I wanted to raise it. The words to delete references to the city manager's appointment, compensation, and removal as those provisions are set out in section 3.08 of the charter. To me, when I read that, I'm concerned that an average citizen might not understand and may be alarmed by the words delete and miss that it's set out. So I added some different words. For example, shall section 4.02 of the city charter be amended pursuant to ordinance 2021-29 to remove duplicative references to the city manager's appointment, compensation, removal, as these provisions are also in section 3.08. I was just wrestling with the language of this particular one. I just want to make sure that our citizens, when they look at this particular question, that they understand that we are not in any way deleting from our charter the methods of review of the city manager, our methods of compensating the city manager, or our ability or the manner in which we could remove the city manager. It's just, I just wanted to make sure that people understand that it's literally duplicative. It's not that we're deleting anything. I'm not sure if other council members read it this similarly or if I'm just being hypercritical. It's just a thought.
So there's nothing that prevents us from making changes to this tonight. It is a resolution. The only thing that we have to be very careful of is there's a word limit.
Sure.
And even with those changes, I think we'll meet that word limit. The title can be no greater than 15 words. The actual question can be no greater than 75 words. And so, but I don't think that we're getting close to that 75 if we make those changes to it, if that's what you believe that would help.
Okay, do we have any other comments?
No.
All right, so I'll ask you this. Would you like to state that as an amendment to the motion?
I would.
Because we can accept the amendment, then we'll go back to the main motion, okay?
Would you like me to read it out loud, Mayor?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. My amendment would be to change the question under section 5 to state, shall section 4.02 of the city charter be amended pursuant to ordinance 2021-29 to remove duplicative references to the city manager's appointment, compensation, and removal, as those provisions are also in section 3.08 of the charter.
Okay, we have a motion for an amendment. Do I have a second for that amendment? I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the amendment? Sensing you're ready to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, I'll go back to the,
Make that really clear.
well, I think it's a good point. It could be confusing. We know that it's,
Yeah, we know.
clean up.
And I
but-
know lawyer language set out, but,
Well, I know that you know lawyer language.
well, the word
Sometimes you
set
just
out.
gotta say it, right?
You
Sometimes
just gotta say it. That's right. Does one word make a difference? Yes, it does. It does. All right, so we are back to the main motion, the amended motion.
Thank you.
Is there any other further discussion?
No.
Okay, sensing you're ready to vote, we're now voting on the amended main motion. The chair will, at this time, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. That's all I have for you tonight.
Very good. Thank you, sir. City manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 6 is the approve annual citywide fuel purchases for Pinellas County Cooperative Contract Number 190-0360-B on CC 21 Form 001. The city is a member of a cooperative contract sponsored and awarded by Pinellas County each year, which awarded Palmdale Oil Company the contract for tank wagon purchase and delivery of gasoline and diesel for a 5-year term valid to December 15th of year 2025. The city maintains a fleet fueling system at the Municipal Services Center and purchases fuel inventory throughout the year. The contract pricing is based on the Oil Price Information Services, or OPIS as we know it. The average terminal rack price is published daily for the specific fuel plus a per gallon fixed fee markup. The fuel cost can vary depending on the OPIS average. Fuel purchase from the contract supplies the citywide fleet of vehicles and equipment, as well as off-road diesel used in the standby generators located throughout the city. The budgeted funds are in various departmental budgets, in total $107,650, and we're asking for a not to exceed approval on council of that amount. Staff recommends approval.
All right, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second,
Motion is second. Any discussion? Gotta have fuel.
gas is expensive.
All right, sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Item 7.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 7 is a request for council approval to authorize the city manager to execute 2018-001-RFP, a contract amendment number 3 for the citywide janitorial services, the United States Service Industries Incorporated, or as we know them, USSI. On November 17th, year 2020, the city renewed contract 2018-001-RFP with USSI to continue providing janitorial services at city facilities for the third of 5 one-year automatic renewal periods. Following the current third one-year renewal period, both the city and the contractor desire to continue the service agreement for a fourth one-year renewal period. The terms and conditions of the contract provide the option for either party to request a price increase, which they did, the dollar amount of which was a 5.13% increase, which represents the CPI for the prior year, and it was in one of your support documents to see how they arrived at it. There was a question posed about what CPI represented in the way it was worded. It is literally an average of the year over year is an average of the 12 prior months, which is why they were referring to it as an average CPI. That is the CPI figure. So USSI had required the increase. Staff evaluated it against other contracts and recommended to me that we approve it. I approve it as well. The result of the requested increase amounts to $5,335.80 annually. The total cost of the service will be $109,353.72. Funding is available in the 21-22 budget, the Facilities Maintenance Division, and staff recommends approval.
All right, Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I got a motion, do I have a second? Motion and a second, discussion? I've got to imagine we're going to see more of this with some of the cost of labor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in that sense, wrapping it up for another year is a good thing, but they've done a reasonable job. I've got millions of stories of experiences we've had between when we've contracted it and when we've had city employees do it, and these guys have been doing pretty well.
Okay.
Good.
Any other discussion? Consent and you're ready to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Item 8.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 8 is a request to council to approve the special event application fee waiver for the 5th annual Tribute to the Troops event to be held on Sunday, December 12th, 2021. The Tribute to the Troops event has taken place in Veterans Memorial Park for the previous 4 years and is held to raise awareness of the sacrifices made by the American fallen heroes and their families. The event will consist of a motorcycle ride to the park, followed by a presentation and a candlelight memorial on the promenade area. Attendees will then move to Oldsmar Park, where a closing song will be performed on the stage. The event is scheduled from 4 to 6 p.m. and is estimated to draw close to 50 participants. By waiving the fees, the city will not receive special event revenue of approximately $200. Staff recommends approval.
All right, Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second, discussion?
It's a fantastic event. It's really cool.
A lot of motorcycles.
Yes. Yes.
It's gonna be a busy December.
I know, December to remember. All right. All right, Sedging, you're ready to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Item 9.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 9 is a request for council to waive bid requirements and award the purchase of a 1-ton regular cab truck to National Auto Fleet Group, also doing business as the Allen J. Fleet Sales, per the Sourcewell, which is formerly the NJPA contract number 120716 on piggyback form 17-002D. The proposed purchase will replace the 1-ton pickup truck, which is in our fleet numbered 270, currently used by the stormwater crews for 2 primary functions. First, this is a standard, albeit heavy-duty truck size that can pull a utility trailer and be driven without a commercial driver's license or CDL. Currently, there is a shortage of CDL drivers nationwide, and having vehicles that have the towing capacity to pull trailers without requiring one will help get the necessary work done despite the shortage of CDL drivers. Secondly, Truck 270 is equipped with a diesel tank in order to refuel equipment in the field, which is a service we badly need. Thus, the city's heavy equipment operators can be more efficient because they do not need to put the equipment back on the trailer to bring it back to refuel, but rather can refuel in the field under both normal and emergency conditions. The diesel tank and pumping equipment remain in good working condition and will be removed from the existing vehicle number 270 installed in the new replacement vehicle. The Sourcewell contract with National Auto Fleet Group, DBA Allen J. Fleet Sales provides an array of vehicle brands, models, and upfittings to accommodate the city's needs. The current contract is valid through January 17th, year 2022. The vendor has been instrumental in helping the city prepare for these vehicle purchases in light of the automotive industry's strained production and volatile model year ordering windows. which the council would be familiar with since we've asked the council prior to year end to commit a letter of intent to our desire to purchase a bunch of them in light of that. This is actually the replacement of one we had on that list. So the funding for this purchase amount of $50,284 is available in the 21-22 capital improvement program budget in the stormwater fund. To the other point, the $75,000 in available funds for this GL account were originally budgeted to replace the dump truck, which is number 267. However, due to the increased cost of the dump truck and the department need for the capabilities provided by the 1-ton, these funds will be instead utilized to replace truck 270. The funds are available in Fund 405. Staff recommends approval, and I just wanted to point out that one of our, Nan, our Public Works Director, actually teaches the CDL class as a mechanism by which she tries to help encourage our staff to get them. That's service way above and beyond.
Thank you,
So
Dan.
technically, with us all being employees, you need us out there driving trucks. Oh, well, that's not gonna
That would be exciting.
be. Tom just said, we need to talk liability here.
But no.
All right, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second discussion.
Can I just ask one question, Al? Do we know if is it a shortage due to lack of interest in the work, or is it a shortage due to lack of goods to get delivered? And the reason I'm asking, I'm the son of a truck salesman. And so my dad made my brother get a CDL while he was studying for the bar exam so he could send him on different trips. And so my brother always brags that, well, I've got a CDL, I can drive.
I've read many things, most commonly spoken of in the past year or so, although we had ordering issues even before the pandemic, was the electrical components,
Okay,
the chips.
so they couldn't get it.
Because everybody knows about the chip shortage.
Yeah.
That I had heard more recently as being a significant effect on their ability to keep up with the orders.
Gotcha, okay.
I'm sure that's not the only reason, but that's the one I kept reading about.
Yeah, no, I haven't spoken to my father about it, but it was, when I was reading this, I was just like, man, sure does the CDL drivers, like, my brother was so ecstatic, and I wasn't old enough to do it yet. And then,
Well, I'm sorry, I thought you were referring to the trucks.
no, for sure, no.
The
truck
licenses.
says no. Is it
I'm sorry,
is it a lack of interest in people doing the work, or is it a lack of?
There's many theories
supplies
on
needing to be-
what the cause of that is, and we're working on it. Like I said, Nan came up with the idea to say we would do anything we could to try and help them get it.
Gotcha.
But there's varying theories on why that seems to be a
There
problem.
appears to be way too many that went into law school instead.
No, I
It's
guess,
a real problem. We got 3 up here right now, okay?
I mean, we're not volunteering to get our CDLs. I'm just asking. It's just something I wanted to know.
It's a good question. I thought it was a good question. Anybody else on council have a good question?
Long story short, I got my CDL when I was 18, 19.
Did you?
I've had it for a long time.
There you go.
Okay, who does not have their CDL then? The rest of us?
Yeah, we don't, okay.
Wow.
Do you have your CDL?
I have my commercial, but I don't know that that qualifies as a CDL because I know they changed it years ago.
How about
It
that?
doesn't really matter,
Class
does
is
it?
in session.
In any event.
It's a long story. All right. Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. City manager, got anything else?
Thank you, sir.
That was an easy one. You got one left.
Yeah, I like it.
We're saving a good one for you.
No more
I've heard.
softballs.
Saving a good one for you. City clerk.
Item 10, approve certain external organizations using the city seal for calendar year 2022. Florida Statute 165.043 states the manufacturer, use, display, or other employment of any facsimile or reproduction of the municipal seal except by municipal officers in the performance of their official duties without express approval of the governing body is a second-degree misdemeanor. The following organizations request or are likely to request approval to use the city seal for the 2022 calendar year, and the list includes sporting groups, events, charities, and marketing efforts. And what we provide for them is the in partnership seal. So it's a seal, and then it says in partnership with City of Oldsmar. It just helps to keep our communications a bit more official. So we're asking for you to approve the use.
Okay. Does, Chair will entertain a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? A motion, a second. Any discussion?
would like to propose that we add the Oldsmar Neighborhood Association onto this list.
Ooh.
Okay. Do they have to request it, or we could just add them, correct?
You could add them.
Okay.
They're likely
Excellent.
to.
All right.
Oldsmar Neighborhood Association.
All right, any other
They're
discussion?
gonna be,
Yeah.
I don't know if they have their 501c3 yet, but their intent is to be that way, so.
That's good.
They have it. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Good. All right, then the chair will, well, let's see, I guess it really amended it, so at this time, we have is that a motion to amend?
It would be a motion to amend, yes.
All right, so I have a motion to amend. Do I have a second on the amendment?
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the amendment. Any further discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Now we'll go back to the amended main motion. Any other discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Anything else?
That's all I have.
Man, you're good. All right, city council. Council comments. I will start with Councilmember Graber.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm sure a lot of these things might be repeated, so it won't take very long, but it was my first Veterans Day celebration. I know it was Andrew's first one, where it was outdoors and with people, so he was really excited. Very good speech, by the way, Vice Mayor. But it was nice for me. Like I said, I hadn't been able to participate in one before, so it was a really great experience. Of course, Celebrate Oldsmar this week. We're working the beer tent 12 to 6. We attended a meeting last night with the Oldsmar Neighborhood Association, and a lot of things were discussed, and they've got some really good ideas. One thing that I wanted to just bring up, just to kind of put it in everybody's heads, was there was a discussion about how we refer to downtown in the CRA as downtown in the CRA, but we don't refer to it as any sort of nickname. There was a nickname given by Mayor Beavis, which was Andrew Napville, which I don't want to call the CRA. However, I didn't know if it would be a community thing that we'd reach out or maybe take suggestions, but something along the lines of, like in downtown Jacksonville, you can live downtown, but you live in Riverside, or you live in Avondale, or you live in Five Points, or you live in, and there's the different monikers. And so there was folks there. One woman lived in Tuscany Woods, and she asked if she lived in the CRA, didn't know where it was. And so it's kind of an ambiguous sort of place. Of course, we all know it because we deal with it every day.
Right.
But just some sort of, and I don't want to make any suggestions because I know they'll be shot down, haha. But it's one of those things where it's, you know, is it shoreside, but are we really near the shore? You know, is it just downtown, but it isn't because it encompasses different portions of it. And I think Mayor Beavis, you even mentioned the way, if you look at it on a map, it says Olds
Revised map.
Olds revised map. And so it doesn't say South Tampa, Riverside, that sort of thing. It doesn't have its own moniker. So just something as we get moving forward with all the stuff that we've been discussing, just something kind of put in our minds. It's like, okay, what is this place actually called other than CRA? And beyond that, speaking of which, I wanted to thank the members of the staff, letting everybody know that the meeting or the vote got moved to December 7th. A lot of members of the community picked up on it and just put the information out there, which I really appreciated. It was just, hey, we're not voting on the 16th. We're going to vote on the 7th for the first reading. So I really appreciate everybody doing that, putting it out there. And as you can see, I'm guessing we're going to have more attendance next meeting. But other than that, Mayor, thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilmember Strachey.
Thank you. I really don't have much. Steve mentioned the Veterans Day. I thought it was a great event. Always is. And the only other thing I wanted to mention is I was able to land the Jolly Trolley for the Women's Club in the parade on Saturday for Oldsmar Days. And so the Women's Club will be inside the Jolly Trolley waving as they go down.
Yeah, that's
the
nice.
parade.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
ESTA stepped up to the plate. I asked them, and they said yes, they would allow us the city to have the Jolly Trolley. So that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Very good, very good. You know, coming back real quick to something you said, Graber, you know, maybe it's, Councilmember Graber, maybe it's something that we should consider as we move forward. As you know, we've often kind of looked at the Oldsmar Town Center as kind of a catchphrase, but maybe that becomes part of the community process in naming.
Yeah, and that's it. I thought that was just a great idea, and I didn't know how we would do it or get the word out, but or even if it would be voted upon. But just something where it's, I live here and people can identify. It's just like,
right.
Oh, I remember when we were naming that. That was actually, or I had a hand in it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't recommend Napville, but that was.
I like it.
Napperville. Moving along.
But Thank you, Mayor, for bringing it back. But yeah, it was one of those things where like, oh yeah, because we just refer to it as such, and it was just like,
Yeah.
it was a good idea.
Councilmember Gannon.
Thank you, Mayor. I too deeply enjoyed the Veterans Day ceremony. It was very moving to have everyone there in person again. I want to make sure to thank our staff. I think that having the big tent there was a great idea. It was a beautiful day. I want to thank our citizens for turning out to support our veterans. I mean, man, do they show up. It was packed. There was not an empty seat. It was wonderful. And of course, I want to thank all of our veterans for turning up, and so many names added to the wall. It's like there's more and more every year. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's a beautiful way to honor them. I definitely want to encourage everybody to come out to the mayor's breakfast. You don't have to be an elected official or a city staff member. You just have to have a ticket. That's all. All you have to do is get a ticket and show up, and it's a fantastic event. There's a fun sort of friendly competition between the mayor of Safety Harbor and the mayor of Oldsmar over how many tips they can get for serving coffee to everyone. And the money goes to such a great cause right back into our community for families who need help at the holidays, whether it's gifts for children or food. It's just a really heartwarming event and a great way to kick off the sort of Christmas, Hanukkah holiday season. Looking forward to celebrate Oldsmar, the tree lighting, the golf cart parade, breakfast with Santa, Christmas Wonderland, Save the Bay. It really will be a December to remember. I challenge us to, I don't know, somehow go to all of these things. But we also managed to have a whole bunch this past week. In addition to Veterans Day, there was the talent show, Second Friday, and Drive Electric. And what struck me about these events, which two of them occurred literally simultaneously, there were so many people. And it just encourages me so much to see this many people coming to the downtown Napville area consistently and repeatedly and every month, and enjoying themselves in this area and kind of re-identifying and reinvigorating this area. It just brings me so much joy. You know, COVID sent us outdoors, but what a blessing to see so many events and so many people at Ari Olds Park. You know, we might not have had the talent show there. We might have had it at the rec center, you know, where we used to always have it. And look at now, it's this huge event. And I just wanted to give one specific shout out about the talent show to the mayor. There was a particular performer who was deserving of additional praise and compliments from our community for being brave, despite many perceived lack of talent. And it's a moment where not only do we support the people in the talent show, the children, the residents, but we also take a moment to look around to the other people next to us in our community, our neighbors and our friends, also clapping and cheering and showing compassion for each other. And these events, I know it's a big list, but they're more than just events. And every time we do these things, we just keep coming together as a community, and it reminds me of our common goals. And I'm just very grateful for the staff. I'm sure this must feel like a marathon to communication, marketing, and the arts, to leisure services. It matters, it's noticed, you're appreciated. Thank you so much to our staff. I know our citizens, especially the children this time of year, get very excited. So thank you as we push toward the end of the year. That's all, Mayor.
Thank you. Very nice. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. As Councilmember Graber mentioned, the Neighborhood Association meeting last night, I think went really well. It was the best attended meeting thus far. I've been to a few of them since the inception. I think we had about a dozen or so neighborhoods represented, so not every pocket of the city, but quite a few. Even West Oldsmar and East Lake Woodlands folks showed up, because it's not just about what's in the city limits itself. So it was really exciting what was discussed, and I love the idea. You know, Dallas mentioned earlier, you know, Driftwood Cove, there's all these little pockets where if you do a little digging and research, there might already be a name that has long been forgotten for particular areas. So I like the idea of community involvement to figure those things out with, you know, whether it's a block or whatever that area is, and maybe wayfinding signs or something like that to, you know, give some new recognition to areas. Next, I hope you all have fun at Celebrate Oldsmar. I will unfortunately not be there, but I'll be there in spirit, and nothing I don't think will be live streamed, but I'm sure I'll see plenty of pictures of you all having fun, but I'll be out of state. Then I just wanted to say, on behalf of the rest of my family, thank you all for sending the flowers or the plant over to the services this past weekend. We really appreciate that. And then finally, happy Thanksgiving, early Thanksgiving. So
Happy Thanksgiving.
on the horizon.
That's
So
right.
that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. I have just a few comments. Some of them already said, so I won't spend much time on. I do want to thank our Veterans Advisory Board for putting on the event, along with our volunteers and our staff who work really hard at that, and of course, all the folks who came out. It was, as everyone's noted, it was nice to have everybody out together. The weather was perfect. I thought everyone did a really good job, so it was well done. Drive Electric Tampa Bay was a real nice event, right down here on Saturday. Is it Saturday? Yeah. I don't know, we've had so many events, they're kind of rolling together. But I know, that's right. Yeah, Saraki was there too. But it was a nice event, the opportunity for some people to do some test drives and all that. And so I was even telling the story to somebody there who had brought their cars that the vice mayor ended up ultimately buying a Tesla that they first tried at one of these events. So, but it was good. It was nice attendance. And of course, Celebrate Oldsmar this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of events packed into it. I'm not going to cover them again. Mayor's Breakfast on December 3rd. One thing that I think is very important to note is that Mayor Joe and Mayor Eric are not cooking. We're just serving the coffee. Actually, there's a lot of people serving coffee, but we're going around serving coffee too. And it is a great event. As Katie mentioned, it's an opportunity to help some families in the community who would not have Christmas otherwise. And that's the whole goal of it. And there'll be a nice turnout, I'm sure. And so please, if you haven't considered it, consider going. It'll be a good time. And then, of course, December 1st at 6 p.m., we got the tree lighting ceremony. That's always good. It's always funny. I ask the same question every year. Has everyone been good? And the kids say yes, parents don't say a word.
It's true.
So we'll see what happens this time. Anyhow, that's all I've got. At this time, I'll go on to the next item. Item 12, approve the tentative agenda for December 7th, 2021. No, I have one other item, just a reminder that public hearing that is important to the community was moved to our next meeting. We will sit here as long as we need to sit here and let everybody have an opportunity to speak. And so get rested. I have a feeling it'll be a good meeting. All right. I'll move on to item number 12, approve a tentative agenda for December 7th, 2021. Is there anybody wishing to pull anything? Seeing that there's not, the chair will entertain a motion to approve as presented.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. At this time, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I think you broke Mayor Beavis's record for the fastest meeting.
Oh,
There you
what,
go.
did we?
All right, well, that's good, because I broke his record for the longest, too, so. All right, I have a motion, I have a second. A motion and a second, we're adjourned.
And it doesn't matter for the record. I just want to thank the council. We were able to, with the money that you provided, Holiday Sharing Fund, we have been able to purchase the 30 bikes for the kids of Oldsmar.
Excellent, good job. Good note to end on.